Girls, this is the Prussian Prince, back with Europa Universalis 4. Now, this is not the release version of the game, this is the beta, but it should be pretty much how the release version is. Maybe one patch behind or something like that, I'm not exactly sure, but it should be pretty much be the finished state of the game. So, what is Europa Universalis 4? It is a grand strategy title developed by Paradox Development Studio and published by Paradox Interactive. This is actually the sequel to Europa Universalis 3. Actually, it's part of the Europa Universalis series. There's been Europa Universalis, Europa Universalis 2, Europa Universalis 3 with a lot of expansion packs and such. I believe the last one was Divine Wind. There was Heir to the Throne, Napoleon's Ambition, and In Nomine. Not really in that order. I think it was Napoleon's Ambition, In Nomine, Heir to the Throne, and then Divine Wind. I think that's how it was. I don't remember exactly. But anyway, this game is just gonna be released today. I'm recording the beta before release. Just a few hours behind, just because I wanna upload something really quickly. I won't have the time to upload everything once it's released. So I want to have some content out there when it's out. But anyway, this game, I'll tell you, this is just not how Europa Universalis 3 is. It's actually a lot different. Most of that is thanks to the introduction of the monarch points. But anyway, this is a first look. I'm not gonna be going too much into detail, you just see how it is. This is the main menu. Obviously here you will see if you're missing something, a DLC or something. There's obviously content. This is probably gonna open up the Steam window where you can see what you have or not. I haven't touched it, but I think that's what it does. And obviously you have exit, all these social media icons. You have options. And options, you can auto save yearly, monthly, and such. You can also save to cloud auto save. That's really good. I like that. Additions is now pretty much this is, I think you call it a Steamworks title. So here you have the resolution refresh rate, which by the way, now the refresh rate detects properly for all monitors, I think, because before mine it would say that it's like on 29 Hertz or something, but it would still be set to 60, just it would show something else. It was pretty weird, but I'm glad that it works now in Europa Universalis 4 compared to other Paradox titles. So now, obviously you can see a lot more graphical options here. Everything from here is pretty cool. Maybe post effects, maybe you don't want those to show, or bloom, but for the most part they're all pretty nice to have. Moving units, again, this is a personal preference. If you put them to yes, the world will be more lively, so to speak, because units won't immediately teleport from one province to another when they reach the destination. However, I prefer to have it on no, because what happens is that yes, it looks more lively, but then you don't know where your units actually are. It's kind of strange, you know? So it's much easier to see what stuff is happening if moving units is set to no. Then we have audio. Obviously I have music volume off, just in case there's some sort of copyright infringement. Then controls, scroll speed and zoom speed. That's the default setting. Hit apply. We'll be back. Now over here we have the credits tab. You can take a look at this later. We have the tutorial. Spin into basic, advanced, and there's a Spanish tutorial here, which is beginner campaign. You can take a look at everything here. It will tell you what it's gonna do. Basically, this teaches you just about everything about just the main features of the game. It's not gonna go too in-depth with everything. If you want to go more in-depth, you should read the manual or read the Paradox Interactive forums. Get more in-depth. There's also, I think there's also an article, Europa Universalis 3 versus Europa Universalis 4. I think it's by Paradox, where they show you the main differences between EU4 and EU3. You should also check that out. Then we have multiplayer. Yes, I want the other way around. With the options, you obviously have the community right here. Here you will see all your friends. It's the matchmaking chat. I can write something for fun. You have the servers here. Obviously, this is your Steam name. So if you change your Steam name, this is gonna change as well. Name here. Then you have all those filters that you can use. You can tick or untick as many as you like. You can also search for tags, which is really cool that you can do that. It tells you password, if it's passworded, server name, player slots, version, tags, mod, and status. Status, I think that's probably if they're already in game or not. So you can use scan internet or scan LAN. And I'm actually gonna host the game just to show you how it looks like, how it's done. Now I can put some random description. I'm not gonna put any tags here. I'm just gonna host it like that. And here I'm not gonna explain anything about this yet, the country selection screen and whatnot, but I'm just gonna be hitting options and I'll be showing you what new multiplayer options you have here. So there are two settings here. Allow players to play the same country. I believe that was in EU3 as well. But the newest multiplayer feature that Paradox have added to EU4, and the one that's the most important and I really enjoy, is the fact that you can now hot join a game that's already in progress. So that's quite good. That's an amazing feature that they've managed to add into the game, and I'm probably gonna find myself using it quite a lot if I play multiplayer, because sometimes, I mean, any game crashes, right? Even the most stable ones, they sometimes crash. So it's really nice that they've added it. And even if your game doesn't crash, maybe you want to have a friend that joins you in the middle of a session, or you have to go out, you have to leave the game, and then you can come back later. It's pretty cool. Also, you can probably set up a persistent server like this. Again, another cool feature that the game has. But let's go out of here and let's go to the main part of the game. I'm probably sure that most of you are interested in the single player, so I'll show you how it is. So, as usual, like in EU3, you have the historical starts and you have the saved games. Up here, I have a lot of saved games. Then you have cloud. You can save your games to cloud as well. And apart from that, you can also use Iron Man mode, and I believe Iron Man mode automatically uses cloud. But it's pretty cool. So what Iron Man mode is, you cannot save. Well, it'll tell you right here. You cannot use cheats, you cannot switch countries, you cannot save, well, you have one save, and non-optional and frequent auto-saving. So, you cannot reload, you cannot do anything, it's just, you play as it is, you see, go to the end and you'll see what happens. But yeah, for the other settings you have bonuses, AI or player or none. Probably best to put it on none. AI difficulty, this tells you what it does, the skill and behavior. Lucky Nations. Look at all those bonuses that Lucky Nations get. Probably you should want none for Lucky Nations, because if you make them lucky or historical, I mean random or historical, what's gonna happen is that the AI is gonna get pretty big bonuses, and they might really be able to take you out quite fast. Just look at those bonuses. I think they also start out with more units, I believe, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, you can also, well, actually this is quite strange why they have these two options here in the single player. Probably this isn't be like this in the release version of the game. Iron Man mode, I can't select it. Oh, I don't have Steam Cloud enabled, I think. But anyway, you can also select the starting date manually. You don't have to use those bookmarks as usual, even by up to day, to specific day. But what we want to actually take a look at right now is Rise of the Ottomans campaign, the bookmark. So you can see a list of all the preferred or suggested countries that the game shows you to play, and especially those three here. those three that are glowing, I think it just shows you that they are even more interesting than the other ones here to play. Well, according to the game. So, you can also see the campaign description over here, which you can pause and read if you'd like. There's also the random nation button, which is a new thing to EU4, which wasn't in EU3. If you cannot decide yourself which nation you want to play, you can use the random nation button. You'll be able to see, to get an automatic nation. It's chosen by the AI. I think that bigger nations have more weight, so it's more likely for you to get a bigger nation than a smaller one. But still, you can see I'm even getting smaller ones. And also, if you're a vassal, I don't think vassal nations get picked by the AI when you click random nation, and some other things. But for now, I'm just gonna select this campaign, and I'm gonna select France. Again, this is only a first look, so it's not gonna be too much, but you can also select here all the map modes in which you want to select your nation. You will see diplomacy tab. Obviously, you're at war with England as France. If you click as England, you'll see that too. There's France. Political map mode. This is probably what you're gonna be choosing your nation in political map mode, or by clicking those shields. Now you can see that we have a Western technology group. This is the best. We are obviously France because of the shield, and we are Catholic. We are a kingdom, a feudal monarchy, independent. So we're not a vassal. We're not in a personal union or something. And we have King Charles VII de Valois. He has 4 administrative skill, 2 diplomatic skill, and 4 military skill. And then we have, I believe those are the stats of the heir. Could be wrong, but I think those are his stats. Oh no. Hang on. No, that's not it. No. Those are technologies, but for the heir, these are his stats. You can see also his age and his claim. So yeah, these are technologies. These are statistics of the king, and if you put your cursor over the king's name, you will see the heir statistics. And then you have here, you have French ideas. This is the starting idea, which is French traditions, plus 20% manpower modifier, and plus 2 diplomatic relations. And when you complete all your French ideas, you will also be getting French ambitions, which gives you plus 10% discipline. That makes your units much more effective. For the rest of the ideas, you have French language in all courts. Obviously, there are a lot of ideas. This is the difficulty. Obviously, to the right is the hardest, represented by the skull, and to the left is the easiest. So France, according to the game, is a pretty easy country to play as. If you take a look at all those stars, it means that we're really good at mostly everything. But we're at war with England, and we have vassals, and we are guaranteeing the independence of Scotland. Yay. But for now, just gonna be hitting play, and we'll be going into the game. Yay. Still waiting for it to load up. Yeah, the game, I'm gonna be honest with you, this game is really awesome. I've played a beta and I really enjoyed it. But I have to convince you that this game is awesome now. So this is the main interface and how it looks like. And obviously the game starts out paused. We're gonna keep it paused for now as I try to guide you through the interface. Now, where should I start? Okay, from the bottom right. You have this shield over here with 2 swords. Well, not really swords, but well, not sure exactly what those are called in English. So you have, this is the 100 Years War that starts automatically when you launch the first campaign. You're already in it as England or or France or one of French vassals. So here you can see the war goal, and if you hold the capital as France, you'll have a ticking war score as compared to England, which if they don't hold it, their war score will drop while yours goes higher. But if they have Ile-de-France, what will happen is that your war score will keep going down all the time. It'll be ticking. And we also have the... I'm not going to show too much of this because I need to show the other portions of the game as well. Then we have the Holy Roman Empire. Here it shows you who is the emperor. So Friedrich III of Austria. It will tell you what kind of boosts he gets. That's pretty nice. Manpower, land force limits, and yearly prestige. And here it will tell you basically statistics of diplomatic, not diplomatic, but imperial authority. How is it gained, how is it lost, and how it increases. And it also tells you here you have some bonuses, but here you also have more bonuses. And those are some diplomatic actions that you can take. Now here are all the imperial reforms which take imperial authority. You can see over here that it took quite a bit to enact. And yeah, only the emperor can enact reforms in the empire. Makes sense, right? We have electors over here, and these are all, they don't really like us. You can see minus 129, but they all of them like France. Not France, but Austria. There are also 49 princes. Those are not the electors, but they are still part of the Holy Roman Empire. Wait, no, I mean they can still be electors, I think. Yeah, I think they're still considered as here. Yeah, because well, Austria is a member of the Holy Roman Empire. Pretty obvious since it's the emperor, I guess. And then we have, I think the electors are still part of the prince list. Yeah, mine's is here. Yeah, there it is. Then we have the papacy, which is actually quite a bit different from before. You can vote for future cardinals, you can use your papal influence, but I think you need to have at least 10 more papal influence than what the current holder of the cardinal, so to speak, has. So if they've spent 48, we need 58, I guess. Oh, well, wait, to get them. I think, I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it says you need at least 11 points, so yeah, that's how it is. And then we hold the green one is ours, the blue one is, not the blue one, but that's the yellow one, held by Ragusa. Not sure why it's yellow, actually. Why is it yellow? Does that... I think that means that we still have some influence on it. I don't know. Or it's just the holder of the Curia, I think. It's probably what it is, yeah. So then what do we have next? Well, we have all those options over here. This is the log. You have some settings here, things here that you can click. These are all diplomatic and whatnot. Filtering messages. Then we have, well, the menu here is for game options. Well, actually we already checked that, but there are message settings here that you can select. You can even search for specific ones. Going back to the game. Now you have the ledger, which is very neatly organized compared to before. You have all these buttons over here that you can use. You can even use next page or previous page. And then you can, well, since they're separated into categories, this is much neater to organize. So, for example, if I want to see all the armies, I can take a look at military and then armies of the world and sort by total. So Austria has the most men, we are the third. Then we have history. This is the history of our nation. We also have find province, which has a shortcut F. We can also go to home capital here if we want, but we don't need to. You can obviously type any kind of province that you want here, and it tells you the province and who is it owned by. Then we can zoom in or zoom out here if you don't have a mouse wheel or you're using a laptop or I don't know what. Even with a laptop, yeah, with a laptop you probably maybe have to use this if you don't have an actual mouse. And then what else is there to show? Oh, of course, this is the minimap. You can obviously click on it to get wherever you want to go to. Sends you there. It's not instant, there's a small animation, but it doesn't really matter. Then you have all those map modes here: terrain, political, trade, imperial, religious, diplomatic. And if those map modes aren't enough, you can click this arrow and you get a lot more of them. So you get also region map mode. If you want, you can unlock it. So once you click it, it sends you back to, shows you the minimap again. So if you need like one map mode for very quickly and then you want to switch back, you can just keep it unlocked and then click here and it's gonna go off. Otherwise you would have to lock it here so that you can keep this tab open. But probably you will not really need the minimap, so I would advise keeping this locked so you see all the map modes. So then besides those map modes, you have region map mode, culture map mode. I'm actually gonna zoom out a little bit. You have sphere of influence map mode. This is pretty cool. Then we have revolt map mode, colonial map mode, economical map mode, manpower map mode, technology map mode, trade value map mode, supply limit map mode, buildings map mode, missionary, players, which is for multiplayer by the way, and accepted cultures. So all of those are pretty cool map modes. There's enough for all your needs, I guess. And then above that, what we have is more messages, important messages about us or other countries, or if you can filter them or not as well. And up here we have the current date, and we can speed it up or not. It shows you at what current speed it's running at. It's currently at 5. I can put it on 1 for example, and this button actually unpauses. Then this is our score here, which is 0 at the moment, but that's how all nations start at the beginning of the game. We're 5th, interestingly enough, with 0 score. Then we have diplomats. No, I should probably click this. This is the outliner. You can turn it off or on if you want. You have diplomats, merchants, armies, and navies. You probably have colonists and buildings that are being built later and such. And you can also press this button and you can filter what is shown and what is not shown. You can put human players on, but obviously since it's single player it doesn't really matter. And now the more interesting part. Top left, we have some stats about our nation. We have our treasury, our manpower, stability, prestige, and legitimacy. Then we also have merchants over here, colonists, diplomats, and missionaries. And compared to EU3, when you send diplomats, they don't, it's not, in EU3 it was like they died, but they actually, in this game, they have names, not just diplomats, but missionaries, colonists, diplomats, missionaries, whatever. But now in this game, they actually have names, and you can use them over and over again. And you don't have 5 like you used to max before. Next, we have the 3 monarch points. It is administrative power, diplomatic power, and military power. All of those are influenced by your ruler's stats and his advisors as well. And then we have this production interface over here. I really like this because it shows you naval units, mercenaries, and land units that you can place, and also some stats up below there that you can look at. So you can basically build units like this. You don't have to. In EU3 you had to right click and then press build land unit and then Latin medieval infantry, something like that. It was a little bit cumbersome. Now it is just a lot better and a lot easier to make units. I like that. Then obviously you can do the same with buildings, but we cannot build anything right now. We don't have that much money and we haven't really researched that many buildings yet. And then it shows us that we're at war. We can right click to dismiss that. You have free advisor slot. And now again, this is very different compared to before. But I'm not going to show you right now. I'm just going to be dismissing here. Disputed succession. This is for royal marriages, and then you can claim their thrones. No mission selected. I'm also going to dismiss that. So now I'm just going to go to the shield button. I'm going to press it, and obviously you see a lot of tabs here. Let's start with government. So we have feudal monarchy. That's what we currently have. If you press this button, you can change your government. It tells you what your government currently does. It also tells you here. And here you obviously need administrative power and to have researched certain technologies. It tells you over here what you need. It will cost you 100 administrative power. I don't have that much. If you have that much, I think it will also tell you. Oh no, it also tells you here what you need: enlightenment, constitution, absolute rulership. So you see what you need. And then if you go back, this is our primary culture, and it shows you what cultures are French cultures. Then we have country modifiers here. We have no country modifiers for the moment. Then this is our king and his administrative, diplomatic and military stats. We also have an heir. If you put your cursor over him, we can see his stats, the dynasty, and our chance to get an heir, the modifier, which is influenced by royal marriages and such, I believe. Then we have his age and his claim. The claim is strong because of our high legitimacy. And now here we have advisors. This is different compared to U3, so not all advisor slots are the same. As you can see, you have different ones, because the first one is administrative, second one is diplomatic, and third one is military. Now the first one, if you take a look, there's +1, +2, +3. What this means is the monthly gain that this advisor would give you if you hire him. And obviously for +1, +2, and +3, +3 costs so much monthly and also a lot to hire in the beginning, so it's very expensive. Probably you should not do that in the early game. You should focus on maybe +1 advisors and such, or if you really want that +2 or +3 advisor and you really need it. But I don't think so. I don't think that you need those at the beginning, because you wouldn't have the money. Then you have the diplomatic advisors here, pretty much same thing as the administrative one. Then here it shows you how much power you have of each, but now we have -3 because of our leaders. It shows you basically the growth, I believe. Yeah, +7, +5, +4, and it shows the current amount that you have and how much you can keep saved. If this bar is maxed, probably you can't have more than that. So right now it's 999, the max. And this is yellow because there is actually something affecting it negatively, which is that we have 4 leaders compared to 1. And for each leader above the free leader limit, it costs you 1 extra military power per month to upkeep. Then let's go to the second tab, diplomacy, and oh my, this is extremely complicated. So you have, we're Catholic, we're our kingdom, this is our king, these are our max diplomatic relations, we have 6 out of 6. Diplomatic relations are like vassals, or if we're guaranteeing someone, if we have military access to someone, if we have real marriage, that kind of stuff. Shows you here your diplomatic reputation, which you can influence through advisors or technology and ideas, I believe. I think more through ideas than technology. And then you have enemies or rivals. And by the way, for rivals, it costs you 10 diplomatic power. And once you select the rival, these are all the bonuses it gives you against them. I think there's also a relation penalty that you get when you select a rival. I think it's -50, could be wrong. And then of course you have all your current diplomatic relations over here, the state of your country, war, and we have vassals. We have casus belli because reconquest, because we own, we have cores on some of their provinces. And we have a guarantee. We're guaranteeing Scotland. And obviously you have all the nations in the world over here. You can filter them. You can filter them to only show neighbors, then enemies, friends, human players, and clear the filters. Then you can create vassals here, but obviously we are at war, so we cannot create any vassals. You can only do it at peace, and you must have some possible vassals that can be created. And also over here we see our primary culture, and cultures in our primary group again. Then are some spy statistics, again technology group. And here we have our stability level, and our technologies here, prestige, and the current number of ideas that we have. Obviously, if you, for example, if you click on a nation, it gives you the possible actions you can take against it. So you can declare war, but you need casus belli, obviously. It would give you aggressive expansion. Have alliance actions, form coalition against, that's the new diplomatic action. Hang on, gotta drink some water, I'm really thirsty. Then you have enforced peace, that's also very new to EU4. White peace between target country and one of its enemies, but I believe you need some decent relations with the one you're trying to white peace. Basically, force a white peace with. You need some better relations, and then over here you can improve relation. This is something that takes. I think the max you can do it for is plus 100 from improved relations, and I think it's plus 1 every month or so. So it's pretty big, but it does keep your diplomat occupied. Of course, you can recall him back, but it's gonna take some time, and we'll see. It doesn't take that much time unless he's all the way over here, obviously. That would take some time. Then dynastic actions, pretty normal stuff, real marriage and offer vassalization. These are covert actions, so for spies, economy, and access. Again, new stuff here. Fleet basing rights, don't think that was in EU4. And here you can actually see the opinions of Aachen and who it likes. But of course, relations aren't unilateral, is that how you call them? They're bilateral, so basically Albania can like Aachen, but Aachen can hate it. But currently they like each other. Obviously I'm gonna hit the view your country because we want to see our country. And next we're gonna go to the third tab, which is economy. Again, this has seen an overhaul. So in economy, it isn't really linked with technology or treasury, so to speak. There's not that anymore there, so you can't really mint how you used to be in EU3. You could mint for money while gaining inflation. Now the only way to gain inflation is through loans and events, I believe. And next, we have, I think maybe gold would still give you inflation, but I'm not entirely sure. Next we have also economy isn't linked with technologies. I'm not sure if I said that before. But military, army maintenance and military maintenance used to be in the military tab, I think, before. Not sure. EU3. Now we have income and expenses in the economy tab. Income is pretty high for France, as it should be. Well, not that high, but still. We have most of our income from vassals. It's 60%. Well, I mean, it's not actually how much we're getting from. No, I said that wrongly. It's what we get, what the efficiency is, actually, for that. So our efficiency for production is 10%. Well, plus 10%, and trade efficiency is plus 10%, but it's plus 0% for taxation, and it's plus 60% for vassals. Now, harbor fees, war subsidized, we don't really need anything like that, we don't have it. Tariffs, nothing either, because we have no colonies, so I clicked that off for some reason. Then expenses, oh, this is interesting. We have no colonies, so no colonial maintenance. Our missionaries, we have none. Well, we have one actually right now, but we haven't really sent him anywhere to convert the religion of a province, so no maintenance. Then we have army maintenance and fleet maintenance. And fleet maintenance, actually, if you put it lower, you're gonna have a penalty to your light ship trade powder, which is pretty important. And it'll tell you here, obviously, that you have low income. No, not low income, but low maintenance if you're at war. That's pretty nifty. You can also take a loan, but this increases your inflation, and it'll take there'll be some interest to the loan. You can reduce the inflation, but you see, you need a lot of administrative power, and you need economic ideas to do this. Also raise war taxes, but war taxes, not sure if it's effective right now, because look at that war exhaustion. And it also increases the cost of reducing war exhaustion, so it's kind of difficult to use effectively. Now in trade, you have how much you got last month, very low for us. Then we have trade efficiency. Here, trade range, trade steering, trade income, and mercantilism. So trade changed a lot now. There are trade nodes, which are static actually. They cannot change. Here you can see a lot of stats like if you have a merchant present or not, it will show you this house. And here it will show you the mission, the specific type of mission. Here we're just transporting trade power. Here we're collecting from the trade node here. So it's giving us money. Tell you how much income we're getting. Here obviously is our trade power and all the different trade nodes and the trade value, and we can also recall back our merchants, and we can send them to transfer trade power somewhere and such. Next we have technology. Obviously we are Western. That's great. Then we have administrative, diplomatic, and military, as you would expect. Here it shows you the number of idea groups that we can have and at which levels you gain more of administrative technology, our current production efficiency, and the buildings that we can currently build and that we would be able to build once we get to later stages of the game. And here it shows you the current it shows you the 3 types of government. It is the monarchy, and if you put your cursor over feudal monarchy, it will tell you what it gives, and here it will tell you the types of monarchies that exist and at which levels you get them. Below that you have republic. It will tell you where exactly you can get the next level of the next type of republic. Then we have tribal democracy. Obviously this makes your technology really bad and your trade as well, but your stability cost modifier is really nice. Now here, for tribes, you have, obviously you get everything at level 0 and level 1, so you don't need a lot of administrative technology. We're funny to make France a tribe. Anyway, here it'll show you how much you have and how much you need. For how much power you need to research this administrative technology. Then you can click on it and you will research it, but it will cost you that much power. Same thing with diplomatic and military. It will tell you stats of, for diplomatic it will tell you what you have currently unlocked here and when you would be unlocking the next type of ships here. It will tell you if you get this at level 1, you can start placing merchants, and then here you can get reduced naval attrition at level 22. And here again you'll see all those modifiers as well as the buildings that you can build from the diplomatic technology tree. Next you have the military. Here you will see the stats of all your units and what you can get later on. For artillery we haven't unlocked it yet, so it's grayed out. Here you will see the stats that we currently have and at which levels it will get improved as well. And we also have all these ones as well. Next we have military statistics, tactics, then combat width, and buildings. So as usual, just like the other ones. But now you can also see when you research them what it actually gives you. So it gives you all these bonuses and also building. Now let's go to ideas, because this seems like it's gonna be a really long video. For ideas we have, this tells you what our French traditions give us. Then we have all those ideas, the French ideas. How are they gained? Basically you unlock idea groups from here. These cost administrative power, these cost diplomatic power, these cost military power. So you unlock those ideas. well, you get first you have to get to administrative technology level 4 to get that slot. Have a maximum of 8 slots, so 8 idea groups that you can have. And when you get a certain amount of ideas, you will, well, basically you need like to unlock quite a few more ideas to unlock the next national idea. So for now we need 3 more ideas from any idea group to unlock the next one, which would be French language in all courts. So we need 3 ideas, so like let's say from diplomatic ideas we need these first 3. And then we'd be unlocking French language in all courts, which would give us plus 10% to income from vassals. Now for the national idea groups, when you research them fully, you will also gain a new bonus. You put your cursor over this light bulb and you will see the bonus that you get. Next we have missions and decisions. So now you have, in the beginning you have 3 missions you can choose from. And once you take it, it'll tell you, well, here you don't even need to take it. You can put your cursor over here and it'll tell you the effect that it's gonna have if you complete it. And if you put your cursor over this question mark, it'll tell you the prerequisites for the missions. What you need to, what conditions you need to fulfill to be able to be successful with the mission. Once you take them, of course you can also cancel them, but you have to wait a while until you can select a new mission. Here are all the national decisions as well. And next we have stability and expansion. Oh, this is also quite different. So, first of all, war exhaustion. If you're at peace, it also drops by like it gets lowered by -10. So you have a -10 modifier. -0.10, my bad. If it was -10, that would be pretty big. That would be really easy to get rid of war exhaustion. Just be at peace for 2 months and you're out of war exhaustion, even if you were at like 20. So now you can also spend diplomatic power to reduce war exhaustion, but I wouldn't recommend that. If you can lower it automatically just by waiting, it's a better idea than spending power. Then you can boost your stability here, which costs administrative power. So it's unlike U3 where stability would get boosted automatically if you just spent if you just spend a lot into it in the economy tab. That's what I mean. And obviously at positive stability, it costs more administrative power to get more stability. Then we have colonial expansion, all the stats about it and such. Then we have overextension. Overextension, what does that mean? What does that do? Basically, if you have any provinces that you don't have cores on, you can own provinces with claims, but it's still gonna give you overextension. Overextension, it gives you really bad stats. Like you'll be getting terrible terrible events and such dealing with rebels, as it tells you. So this is really bad. You shouldn't get overextension above 100%. Should also try to keep it as low as possible. And then we have all these possible rebels over here. Well, we don't have any right now, but you'll see them later on. If you start getting an icon over here which shows you that revolts are possible. This is the base revolt risk. Obviously it's getting higher because of the war exhaustion that we currently have. Next we have, well, we've pretty much talked about this side. You can also do, when you have rebels, you can do harsh treatment, but that costs you power. What happens is that they're just gonna get lower revolt risk, but it costs power, so I wouldn't use that if I were you, at least not in most cases. Then we have religion. Here you can convert, but you have nothing else to convert to right now. We have nothing else. You can see the tolerance to all the faiths. Here it's modified by quite a bit because we hate every other religion that's not the true faith, which would be Catholic for us. We're not the defender of the faith. Defender of the faith is pretty cool to have when there's a reformation going on or such. Religious unity is pretty good that it's at 100% because now we can boost ability easier, and it's really nice to have. Then here we have papal influence that we gain and such, and our current papal influence, what it does and such. Next, this is the reform desire, which would be bad to get really high, because if it gets really high, I think they would be, yeah, you can see that there would be heresies forcing reformation upon the church. We don't want that to happen. Next, there's the papacy view, which we've already gone over. And finally, we have the military tab. So over here, you have, it shows us that we are Western unit tech. Actually, before in U3, I think even if you change your tech group and you westernized, you would still keep your unit group. But now, if you westernize, you do not keep your unit group. You change to whatever you change to Western unit tech group now. So we have these 3 units here. This is artillery, cavalry, and infantry. If you click our current unit, you can see what we can switch to and what we would have in the future, at what technology and the current stats: fire, shock, and morale. There's also defense and offensive for each of those. Then we have cavalry here. This is basically the same thing. You can also show outdated units, but we don't want to do that. Why would we get outdated units? And here, this is artillery, but we haven't really developed military technology high enough to get artillery. Next, we have naval units, which obviously there are 4 different naval units. Cogs are transport ships. I'm not gonna go too much over it again. This is army tradition, more statistics basically. And our current leaders, we have 4 out of 1. That means our military power is getting, it has reduced growth because we have 4 out of 1. So we have more than 1 free leader. Now here, we can obviously recruit a general. That's going to cost us military power. So already you can see that there's some kind of balancing that you have to do in this game, which is fairly interesting. You have to balance between ideas, making cores, changing cultures of your provinces, all sorts of things, as well as getting ideas, getting technologies. You have to balance that really well. I like that. I like how it is right now. So you also can get Conquistador and Explorer, but you need Quest for the New World for that. Also an Admiral. Also, this one doesn't cost military power; it costs diplomatic power, so it's much easier to spend points on. Diplomatic power, you don't really need that much. Then you can make a military commander out of your ruler, and new thing in U4, unlike U3, you can make your heir also a ruler. So that's pretty cool, but that would be pretty bad because you would lose stability if you lose your ruler or heir in battle, I believe. I think that's -2. If you lose him normally, it's -1. If he just dies randomly. So what is next? Well, pretty much looked over everything. Oh, here, if you select your army, you're gonna have all these options. You can seize colonies, autonomous rebel suppression. If you have this activated, they're gonna go for rebels on their own. Next, you have scorched earth. This would be pretty bad to do on our own. Burn colony, we don't want to do that. We can attack natives, but we're not in a province we're colonizing. We can't do forced march, and also cost military power per province traveled, which we don't want to do. We can attach to other friendly units, so if those units move, then our unit would move too. That's interesting. We can consolidate all understrength regiments. That's new stuff. We can detach mercenaries as well. We can create a new unit as well. We can split it in half. There's a button somewhere over here. I can't find the button. Oh, there it is. You can also detach to siege by pressing D, and you can get them into transport ships. But of course, you need enough of those. Now, if you click a province, you will obviously see some statistics about it: the garrisons, military manpower, and whatnot, demographics, who has cores and claims. you can make your cores like this or change cultures like this. You can also do this in the stability map mode. If you press manage over here, you can make cores through here as well. And same thing in religion. Here you can convert. But I think you can't do that for the culture. I think you have to go specifically into, let's say, something like accept cultures map mode. You see that something is not accepted in your nation, and you click on it, but this is not part of us, it's part of England. Then you see this, it's red, so you click change culture, but for example. But yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. I don't know if there's anything else I can show you right now. I've already shown you quite a bit of the game. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+, and I will see you next time. Hope you enjoy EU4.